in the fashion industry, and especially in the home decor world, the word faux or fake, well, it used to be kind of a major no-no, but now faux decor isn't just acceptable, it's a trend homeowners and designers are embracing. They're opting for faux material instead of wood, marble, and even leather. And it's a trend designer Meagan Macievic is fully on board with. Meagan, what's the main motivation behind using faux materials?
Okay, main motivation is right now we're looking at all these Pinterest photos through magazines, and people are really loving architecture. They want architecture elements in their house. They feel boring, they want these features. So that's the motivation, that's what's driving these products to be made.
And is there a cost savings too? I mean, is that part of it?
Absolutely. So there's huge cost savings. Faux stone's gonna usually be much less expensive than the real thing. Real wood that's exotic can be so pricey. And so we could get something faux for a lot less. With trends right now, barn wood just took off, and all that just reinforced wood, and the quantity of it just went down and the price went up as there was a demand. So we just now kind of faux it and fake it, and you save a lot of money.
Take it till we make it. It used to be that you could really point out the fake material.
Right.
And it was trying to copy, but you've brought a lot of ideas and examples today, and it's looking more and more like the real thing, and really people are making it work and making it look good.
Absolutely. I feel like the manufacturers of the products have just gotten on board and really realized that we want to be fooled. And so they're doing the best they can, and the products are just getting better and better every year. And this isn't your mama's faux, you know, it's getting good. So
okay, so tell us, what kind of faux materials are you using in projects right now? What are you liking?
One thing I really like is actually a wood beam. Architecturally in a ceiling, that's a really cool feature you can add, and a wood beam is a way to go.
Okay, and how do you customize them? Is this, what material is actually going up there on the ceiling?
Right, so either you can put just kind of a pressed faux wood or like an MDF board.
Okay.
And so that's what we're doing. By doing that, the contractor, it can be DIY. You don't have to reinforce this heavy
re-engineering.
Exactly. You can almost leave the contractor out or bring the contractor in, but he's not having to do too much construction. So we're just putting the board. The trick is in the paint job.
Okay.
And so whether you really are ready to tackle it yourself, or there's some fabulous painters out there, Utah has some great talent, and so you can hire someone to come do it for you.
Okay, good options there. Also, good options when it comes to wood flooring. Faux wood flooring as well.
Right. So with the floor movement is grays became really, really hot just a few years ago. And it is actually really hard to get that exact sheen you want and that exact grain. And so they came out with the faux product. And actually a lot of consumers prefer it over the real wood because they are actually getting the look they're desiring with it. And there you go.
So are we talking about engineered wood floor here? Is this tile? You've brought some samples here in the studio. If I don't step right in front of the camera here.
You're good.
I'll step over. Here we go.
Perfect, Courtney. So I actually brought a sample of all those products you just mentioned.
Okay.
So right here we've got our wood tile. Can you believe this is tile? I mean, look at this.
Yeah, it does. You can really can't see the grain through it.
Okay, and then over here we've got our laminate products, and then I have a pre-engineered. So, I mean, they're just getting better. You can actually fill grains now, but still they're easy maintenance, and they're not sacrificing that. You don't have to refinish these. They're not gonna scratch. You don't have to worry about water damage on the tiles.
So there's some real benefits to using these faux products.
Rather than just trying to think, oh, I'm gonna go for a less expensive version, there's actually a plus to all these, and that's why you'll see them in really high-end hotels and homes now, and and they're just beautiful.
Is there a tip to laying some of these? I mean, especially with the tile. How do you pick a grout that makes them look like wood and not like tile?
Such a good question. Okay, so every designer is going to have their own thing. My rule of thumb is I actually prefer the long planks.
Okay, longer is better.
Right, because I'm really trying to get a wood look with my wood tile, and I prefer a grout that actually matches the wood tile. And I'm gonna give you guys a really cool tip right now. Wherever you select these products right here are actually from our Dell Tile store in Salt Lakes.
Okay.
wherever you get them, you can ask them what grout they recommend. By getting like a monochromatic grout, that's where you're gonna get that real wood look. A contrast grout is gonna scream tile.
Okay.
So just
good things to remember if you're gonna go that route. Next thing, we're seeing a lot of wood planking on walls.
Right.
A lot of that reclaimed wood that you mentioned, but you can do it in a faux way.
You sure can. So kind of the same thing we talked about with that ceiling. You just take your wood finish, and it's like an MDF board, and then you're painting it, and that way you're getting the exact color you want, you're getting the exact grain you want. So it's always so surprising when my boards go up, a lot of people are just like, oh, is that gonna be one solid color? And I'm like, no, by the time it's done, it's gonna look like a barnwood. And then you just work your magic.
And there's also some wallpaper that you brought with you. You were showing this before we started.
Right.
This actually feels like wood. I mean, there is some really great texture to it.
This is all new products coming out with these new wallpaper lines. And I mean, there you can, I'm bending it. You can tell it's wallpaper. But yeah, you've got the wood texture. You've got these gorgeous colors. And you don't have this over long-lasting commitment. A lot of people think wallpaper is a huge commitment. Well, if you think that's commitment, wait till you invest in wood, and then the paints are doing it, and they have to go into studs. This is less commitment.
Okay.
So it's actually a really, really good option.
And is it pretty affordable as well?
Yes, a lot more affordable than you would think, especially compared to that reclaimed barnwood. The only thing I do recommend is you're gonna find a variety of products. I say go a little bit more high-end. This is a little bit of a kind of a middle market high-end product.
Okay.
And that's where you're gonna just get it to look be the best.
And you can get the same look with stone, which is kind of on this board as well.
Right, absolutely. So right here we've got something that kind of looks like a little bit of a metal, and all these are wallpapers.
So pretty.
And they look like stones. So big slabs right now are really, really in style. And you'll see them like in the back of showers. Just the feature now is a large, gorgeous slab in kitchens.
So you wouldn't
be
putting these in a shower. Where would these be going?
So this would go into your, just anything that you want. Like I love using these in theater rooms and mounting the screen on them. An office, anywhere that you want to kind of get that look. They look gorgeous in a dining room. You're right, they're not waterproof, but it kind of reenacts that. But this right here, actually, these are faux stone that you could put in a shower. And you can actually, your tile guy can get really, really great at putting them close together so that it will look like that slab that we were talking about, and then they'll line up the veins really nicely.
And so you're really getting that look.
I know. Can you believe this is faux? I mean, I was actually tricked by this when I walked in. It was over in an area that I couldn't tell if it was faux or the real stone area, so I had to ask.
And that's what you're going for.
That's what we're going for. So I thought, if I have to ask, I'm bringing this so Courtney can see it.
Yes, and this takes us right into stone countertops.
Absolutely. Right here, look at all these. So they've really stepped up their game with these. Why clients come to me and say, I want the quartz countertop look as opposed to the real thing, is actually, a lot of these clients can afford the stone that they want, but the maintenance.
Keeping it clean.
You can't use acidic. You worry about your kids pouring orange juice and leaving it. Pots and pans can sometimes chip those edges. Granite and marble, we call that, it's okay. It's made to look patina, so don't stress too much if you do have the real stone. But if you're worried about the maintenance of it, then these products are just fantastic. And if you research like Caesar stone and everything, these samples are actually from Del Tile as well. If you research how they make them, you'll realize the craft and the artistry that goes into it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to lay this everywhere.
Meagan, you've convinced us to fake it. Where can people find more about your design services?
So they can follow me on Instagram, Meagan Ray Interiors, and my website's meaganrayinteriors.com.
Okay, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.